we start?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, it's my pleasure to meet you here. My name is Jerry. Today I'll bring you a new technology we call Turbowin airfoil bearing turbo technology. During my presentation, you are free to give me any interruption if you have any questions. Okay. Just very simply briefing of my experience. Actually, we are shareholder of Turbowin, and our company, Turbowin Technology INC in Taiwan, is actually a branch of Turbowin in Taiwan. But we have our own mission to support also Southeast Asia. So that's why we are here. So we partner with Navic and also try to support your design and also some let's say commissioning or something. This is not actually very important. Okay, somebody are smiling because this photo is actually the photo of my wedding party. My wife said this is the best photo in my life. Actually, use this one. Somebody, their face looks very weird. Oh, is this right? Okay. Before I start, let's have a very short clip. This video clip looks very old. It's from NASA. So let's take a look. In 1960s, actually NASA started to develop this technology for all the airspace station, and because it's oil-free. And as you can see, there's a radio bearing. Outside, there's a bound fold. So once it starts to rotate, then you can find out the small gap between here. So when it's in operation, actually the shaft is floating in the air. That's why we call airfoil bearing. Okay. So people say, why do you still need the metal bearing? So just at the time when you start or stop, so you still need somebody to hold it. That's why you still need some bearing here. Okay, for airfoil bearing, blower and compressor. I think all gentlemen here are the experts. So you can see 93% of factory need the blower or air compressors. And this covers a lot of the industries, which I don't mention one by one because we have a lot of slides. So I'll give you an overview. What's the advantage for this? First, it's high efficiency. We have a reference from 20 to 71% of saving. These are all real cases in Taiwan. Okay, compared with their baseline. Andrew gave everybody a concept about how to compare with baseline, right? So this is a real saving. And this is 100% oil-free. And this one requires exactly 100% no oil. So our machine doesn't need duplication oil. We don't need 2,000, 3,000, or 4,000 hours overhaul. There's no maintenance during the year. And the vibration is also very low. So you don't need to have any vibration assortment, some plastic case, you don't need that. You don't need screen, nothing. Also, the noise level is quite low, and you see our standard is all under 85 dB. 85 dB means we can even talk, next to our blower. Okay. And only a filter is necessary for the replacement. And it's very easy to control because it's fully equipped with a PLC and inverter. So you don't need to buy another controller. You don't need to think about this. And this one is smaller than your current roots blower or air compressor. So for the replacement, normally it fits to the space. Okay. So let's enjoy a little bit video.
Turbowin is one of the world's leading companies in turbo technology. Our compressed air solutions has constantly been developed, while benefiting more than 2 billion people around the world.
This is the current headquarters in Korea. This looks a young company, but actually our president, Mr. Kim, was the first one to develop turbo blower in Korea, also in the world. So we got the President Award about this new technology.
Turbowin's exports totaled $10 million in 2019, in just 4 years since its establishment. Turbowin also won about 10 awards, including the Presidential Award of the Republic of Korea.
There are a lot of awards, they got every year a lot of awards from Korea, from overseas.
Products and upgrade existing ones.
And since the whole team from the first manufacturer moved to Turbowin, so now our model offer the most wide range. 57% of saving is from AUO in Taiwan. It's a display company, the biggest one in Taiwan.
Turbowin is composed of experts in turbo technology and airfoil bearing turbo blower developers with over 20 years of experience. This experience and knowledge leads to its outstanding technology. Turbowin's smart turbo blower and compressor are attracting the world's attention. April 2020, Smart Factory was established to set up systems of mass production and strict quality control. We go through every manufacturing process in-house to minimize product defects.
This impeller we are using is exactly the same material like aircraft. This is aluminum, Air 7075, HT6.
We guarantee to meet any customer requirements.
And if your customer has a special request, for example, they are in a very salty environment, then you can also request like stainless steel or even titanium impeller.
Our patented technologies, including world-class high-efficient permanent motor, saves energy up to 57%.
And this impeller directly coming to the shaft.
Also,
so there's no gear, no gearbox needed.
The factory environment.
No belt, no gear, no gearbox.
Performance experiments of international.
Because this impeller is directly connected to the shaft. So normally, if you are using air compressor or roots blower, you need to change some gears, some important shaft, maybe 3 to 5 years. So it costs a lot.
We carry the widest product range
but now we don't
in the
need
world, such as the micro turbo blower WM series, turbo blower WL series.
You see, we start from 3 horsepower up to actually 2100 horsepower.
WM series.
That's quite big. And we also developed a micro one. This is for fuel cell. Okay, this is very special. Look, it's very small.
Our products are smartly applicable to all industries that need compressed air solutions, such as wastewater treatment systems, petrochemical, thermal power plants, high-tech industries, steel and textile industries, glass and plastic molding industries.
Most of our gentlemen here are experts. Maybe I don't need to explain one by one, but as you can imagine, there are so many applications which you can use. Now we are selling over 70 countries now. And the unit is quite compact, so you don't need to separate by different controlling boxes. But for sure, if you have some special cases, you want to separate the controlling room and motor, it's still good.
Through this, we look forward to creating value for humanity and inspire the world through innovation.
And later I'm going to show you more applications, so we can discuss them. Okay. So we have 3 major directions. As you can see here, and this is our core value, and also our business principle is worldwide best engineering. Okay, you can see over 80% of employees in the company are engineers. Okay, this I just make it a little bit faster. So now we have 85%. Actually, it's not enough. The company is growing too fast. And this company is going to go on IPO next year. And my company in Taiwan, then we are, as I mentioned, we are in charge of a lot of things in Asia, but one of our mission is also to create more solutions. Later I will show you one important application which we made together with Turbo Blower for the powder and pellets company. Okay. So the company in Chongqing area, and we have office in Seoul. And this is also a big stepping forward. Actually, we have a joint venture with Aramco Group. As you know, it's the biggest oil and petrol group in the world. This is number 10. I think it's number 10 company in the world. So now we have a joint venture with Aramco, and we are now also registered as a qualified brand in Aramco Group. So now we are supplying also to Aramco. Then this joint venture will support most of the production. Yeah, it's right. You know, production in Saudi, and we focus on Middle East market. Okay, this is our current CEO, Mr. Chu, and this is a specialist in Korea. They call Mr. Kim as Mr. Turbo Blower. He is the first one in the world to develop, because he used to work with K-Turbo. This is he was the first company in Korea. Okay, so he got also President Award. And this is our CEO in Saudi. And also in Taiwan, we're gonna sign up the contract next week actually. It's fixed. We have a joint venture also with the Formosa Group. This is the #1 in Taiwan for petrol and chemical. So we have also joint venture. This means not only in Korea, but also in Taiwan, we're gonna do in the manufacturing. So the cost will be lower and lower. Yeah. As I mentioned, now we are registered on Aramco. Okay, these are some of our customers. You see TSMC, Samsung, from semiconductor industry to very basic like the textile, food, and beverage industry. So as you can see, these are very, very wide coverage. And I do believe you know many of these companies. The funny thing is, look, IHI is a compressor company. Why they are buying turbo compressor? Maybe they want to be a copycat? No. They are using our turbo compressor in their factory. I'm sorry. So, in the past, they opened their compressor room to show to everybody, look, we are using the IHI compressor by ourselves. But now they close the door, because they're inside with the turbo compressor. So that's very fun. Okay. I do believe you are familiar with the market. So in the factory, as you can see, water, air, gas, electricity, steam, these are the major requirements. So you need for sure a lot of compressor, and not only for IA or TA or some other like cleaning, or some automation. So you need a lot of air, and this costs a lot actually. So because we have a 3 professional speech from the morning, so I do believe you know how important they are. So I don't spend too much time on this. Let's go to more technology side. And we start from blower. And what we call blower is actually from 0.1 to 1 bar. So we call this blower. So at over, let's say 1.2 or 1.5, then we call a turbo compressor. Okay. So you can see from generation 1 is a gear blower. So I think you are familiar with that for sure. Up to 5th generation is fluid blower. Okay. So now it's turbo blower. So I believe in Malaysia or Singapore, there are more and more people, they want to focus on turbo blower. In Taiwan, for all the public wastewater plants, they are not allowed to use fluid blower anymore. They only use turbo blower. Okay? And compressor. Now it's also the turbo compressor. I think you saw a lot. Screw compressor, centrifugal one, but now it's a generation. And Turbowin is the only one supplier in the world now for the airflow bearing compressor over 2 bar. From 2 to 9 bar, we are the only one supplier in the world. Okay. So this is so as you can see, under 1.2 bar, we still have some competitors, some friends here. But Turbowin is now the most energy saving one. This is certified by SGS. You know, it's the same model. Our energy saving rate is the highest one in the world now. Okay. For the, like I say, for compressor, then you find a lot of famous company like Gardner, Denver, Atlas Copco, Ingersoll-Rand. But for air flow bearing, there's only one player. So people start to think about, okay, when this is new technology, just within 10 years or 20 years? No, actually not. You know, Robert Wills, Professor Robert Wills was the first man to discover 1912. So it's actually an old technology, but now it's getting more and more mature for the industrial use. Okay? The first paper, this guy got the first paper, Mr. Ginsberg. And oh, this is a very important person, George. You know, George filed the first patent. For sure, it's expired now. I mean, for air for bearing technology. Okay, this is now over 200 years. And like I say, 1960, you know, NASA started to use this technology. 1961, okay, IBM started to use this for hard disk. Okay, 1987. Yeah, this is for more for major machine. And the funny thing is, 1994. As you know, we don't have a friend from North Korea here, okay, so I can explain. As you know, North Korea want to make the nuclear weapon. So, you know, American guys are so nervous, so they come to South Korea and say, okay, stop. You don't do any nuclear weapon, but I will give you, you know, airspace technology. So air flow bearing technology officially licensed to these companies. This is why maybe you feel weird, even I feel weird, why there's no Taiwanese, you know, Malaysian or Japanese making the same thing. So this is the story. So I don't explain this in detail, okay? This is like a civil war of our turbopropellant Korea, so we don't need to know too much. And actually, our president, Mr. Kim Il-sung, was the first one in this company to develop this, they say K-Turbo. And this company is no longer there, bankrupt. Yeah, this is also the reason why Mr. Kim brought his team out to build up the Turbowin. Okay, so let's look at the core technology.
Turbowin WH series delivers high-quality compressed air through innovative airfoil bearing technology and is an oil-free, eco-friendly equipment that sets a new standard for energy savings by applying inverter control technology.
Yeah, two motors, 4 impellers.
Which is global patented and certified technology, shows high efficiency of over 97% in the 40,000 to 80,000 RPM operating range. HEPM motor is configured of impeller, airfoil bearing, thrust bearing, rotor, stator, cooling fan, and dual air cooling system can reduce the internal temperature of the motor by at least 10 degrees. Developed by Turbowin own technology, NBW airfoil bearing performs best even in extremely severe environments with strong durability.
This bearing is very spacious. 3 different kind of layers,
Turbowin
different kind of coating.
SHL maintains performance at high temperatures of 260 to 300 and can endure at least 150,000 on-off cycles.
Precision is so high. This is really
With
hard.
NBW airfoil bearing technology, Turbowin turbo compressors are operated by a 100% oil-free system that allows the shaft to float on its own, above a certain speed, minimizing mechanical friction and vibration. In addition to its compact structure, best performance, and eco-friendly mechanical performance. It is excellent for efficient operation and power cost reduction through inverter control. The HEPM motor is inverter controlled to vary the speed of the motor based on receiver tank pressure, allowing for efficient compressor operation to match compressed air usage. Turbowin WH series supports pressure ranges from 1.5 bars to 9.5 bars. WH series maintains a low discharge temperature of around 30 through 4-stage compression and cooling process.
These are actually 4 stages.
Oil system, so it's easy to maintain and can be operated at a low cost. The WH series offers utility configuration with low investment costs, high quality, compressed air delivery and minimized raw material defects. It also improves the workplace and reduces piping issues, providing an eco-friendly and economical total air solution. Turbowin will set a new standard in low carbon emission through high quality compressed air and efficient line construction.
Okay, so you can see this is shaft here, impeller, the main motor. We call PMSM motor. This is not the typical PM motor, it's PMSM. Just like your Tesla, you know, if you push and the speed just goes up. So this is very efficient. And you don't see even one gear, you know, gearbox here, nothing. And this is what we call the airflow bearing. And this bearing we offer 100,000 times of warranty for the start and stop. So it's actually quite strong. Actually, there are 2 different kinds of bearing here. One is radial bearing, the other one is surge bearing. And only with these 2 bearings, we have 10 patents on these 2 bearings. Okay, so it's non-contact. Okay, just when start or stop, they will be contacted. But during unload for compressor, actually there's no contact. They are still floating in the air. Okay. So our design is also very special. For all the other competitors, they need to use the old technology. They use a whole holding bar, or they do welding here. And also everybody knows the weakness is here. But Turbowin use non-welding system. Our patent is non-welded, so this is now very strong. And also the thickness is different. As you saw from the video, there are 3 different kinds of coating layers. So it looks quite simple, right? And where's the cooling fan? There's no cooling fan inside. We don't need a cooling fan. Some of our competitors are using cooling fan over here, but we don't need. We call this technology natural cycle. Once the major impeller starts, actually the cooling impeller also starts at the same speed. So the cooling air, the natural air will come through this hole. So it starts to cool down the whole water system and also the very hot air inside. So our discharge temperature is the lowest in this industry. So this brings a lot of advantage. When you are doing, let's say, water control for wastewater, or you need to have a clean air, you know, to clean your products. You don't like a high temperature at all. So this is one of the key points.
What's the temperature?
For example, for 0.6 bar, okay, let's say 6 meters high water, if you are doing wastewater treatment, the discharge temperature, the delta T, it's only 53 degrees. So let's say if today is hot, today is, let's say, 30 degrees. So the discharging temperature is about 83. Our competitor runs 95 to 105. For compressor, our discharging air temperature is only the cooling water plus 8 degrees, 8 centigrade. This means if your cooling water is 32 degrees, the same. Okay? And your discharge is only 40 degrees. For normal screw compressor, your discharging temperature will be normally between 60 to 120. This is a very professional question. You know why? Because the higher temperature you have, the more water inside. So you need a lot of power for your dryer. Let's say, okay, discharging temperature at 120 degrees compared with our 40. You know the situation, water inside is 10 times difference. 10 times. So this is a lot. Yeah. So this means our turbo compressor, you know, not only save the electricity, but also saving the total power from dryer, from other accessories. Okay, this is very nice. And So you see this is cooling air. Like I said, this is a dual cooling system. Yeah, so the cooling air will go out independently. Okay, this is main impeller here. And this is all connected by the same shaft. Okay, this impeller we have our dynamic balancing system. Yeah, you saw in the video, right? Different kind of. Only these 3 layers, we have 4 patterns. And actually, motor itself just needs air to cool down. So why we need cooling water for all this compressor? Because we just need this to to cool down the compressed air. Okay, you don't need the water to cool down your motor. And there's a very special system we call auto surge protection. And for normal compressor, look at this. This is red line. If suddenly the back pressure goes very high, and they just go surge directly. But we have a special pattern, and there's a special valve. Okay, if we detect it's going to surge now, so this valve will open. You will hear some voice like shh, shh, shh. So they will release the pressure. There is a special VOV. This one is built between discharge air and cooling air. So this is something special for all our competitors in this industry. Their blower must go to maximum speed, to the rated power, then come back to the operational point if they need. But only Turbowin is going to your operational point directly. It's similar like when you are driving, you saw the traffic light, it's red. So you stop over there, and once it become green, then you push to the limit and come back to let's say 40 kilometers per hour. It's weird, right? But only Turbowin will go to 40. They will go to the operational point directly. So this is an advantage which we borrow from this, and this is our in-house design. We don't buy this from anywhere else. Okay, so through this photo, it's very easy for you to see the air, how air is going. So these are cooling air. This line are cooling air. And this is inverter. This inverter is not normal inverter which reduce the frequency down to 50 or 40. This one we rise to up to maximum 1600 Hertz. Okay. Now we are using an inverter from ZMR. It's from Germany. Okay. So the motors are here. So it's very, we do it very modularized. So it means, I think you guys are very professional. When you are doing maintenance, you can see engineer, they open up everything, they put it on the ground because they don't know which gear is broken. So for our idea of maintenance, we do module change. If we found out, okay, motor is damaged, but we only change motor. So our well experienced engineer can change this motor within 1 hour. So our annual maintenance need only less than 1 day. Normally they just need 4 hours to finish everything. But for let's say some compressor like Atlas Copco, Ingersoll Rand, we need at least 1 or 2 days. So that's very different. Okay. And we are the only one turbo blower supplier in the world to support explosion proof. We have IEC, EX, and ATEX. Okay, so if your application are in this zone for sure, then you need the EX certificate. Okay, this we call class 0, as you mentioned. And our design, according to the efficiency, this is what we did in Taiwan, 57.5. Okay, this is with display company. And if you compare with, let's say, magnetic blower, I hear there are some trading company doing this. You see that the saving rate is still very, very different. But actually the cost is quite similar. So if you want to spend the same budget, actually you should choose air for bearing. The yellow area is currently what we support. The gray area is our competitor. Okay, Okay, so completely just support up to 1.2 bar, but Turbowin is now going to 9.5 bar. So this is very special. And people are asking what's the real maintenance you have. And actually we are only changing filter. Normally we change every 3 months, but for sure it depends. If you are a cement industry, I believe you need to change every 1 or 2 months for sure, and you need to clean as well. But normally like semiconductor industry, which we have done together with TSMC and Micron in Taiwan, normally they change 3 to 6 months. So now it's a really new generation. People start to change from all these noisy, machines. So now actually it's very quiet. And vibration is so low. This is a typical one, which you see everywhere. Yeah. And this is our current design. So as you can imagine, each single part could be damaged within 3 years or 5 years at least, right? So, but inside we don't have any parts to change. Even the bearing we are talking about, we guarantee 100,000 times of start and stop. This means if we are start every single hour, we have to talk about this warranty 11 or 12 years later. But actually, you will never, start and stop, turn on your machine every single hour. So this means our bearing is nearly lifetime warranty. Yeah. So let's take a look. Actually, it looks very similar. Compressor and this is blower. It's quite similar. But for blower, we provide something small. You have some special applications which you don't like vibration, you don't like oil. And people are still buying this small set. Like a pharmaceutical, food, and beverage industry. Yeah, they love this because this is real oil-free. The structure of blower is quite similar to the compressor. But for blower, we don't need the 2 motors. Yeah, we just need 1. But we can make this motor very big, up to 2100 horsepower. Yeah, this cooling system is very important. It's quite high in Malaysia. This is why I emphasize this cooling issue. We have also a lot of commissioning and installation in Mexico. Most of our competitors, their machine died there. Yeah, this is too hot. We have a lot of different design. So if you are a contractor or engineering company, you are more than welcome to discuss with what you need. And we have a modeling software to help. And there's something special. People are talking about AI today, right? This is some AI algorithm inside. So for most of the engineering side, they feel confused when to repair, what's to happen within 1 or 2 days later. They don't know, they have no idea. So we show this smart indicator. Only when they see this, it's getting orange color, and they need to call us or they need to find out maybe some problem will be happen soon. So we do a little prediction for the error. For traditional compressors, actually, you have no idea. You just see something shut down and when it's gone. Right? So now it's very important. We want to have some, reminder in advance. This is what I'm saying is a second special valve. It will open. You know, as a shareholder, I ask not to spend too much money for these videos. So, you know, some number looks smaller, but now it's actually much bigger. Okay, so you see we are running very fast. You know, start with the first blower, and we also have a fuel cell. This is something special. You know, currently all the drones cannot fly too long because they are using this battery. But now, because of the war between Russia and Ukraine, and people are starting to think about the drone should fly 4 hours, 8 hours longer. So the only one solution now is to use fuel cell, like hydrogen. But with hydrogen battery, actually you need compressor, small compressor to supply the oxygen. So we are the only one solution now for airflow bearing. And because if you put normal compressor, it's so noisy, you will be detected before you get in. But for airflow bearing, it's quiet. But my meaning is not to support the military drone. Okay, there are many agricultural drones, for civil drones that you need to do the civilians. Okay, so you see, we have actually also vacuum blower now. The coverage is so wide, and this is a micro one, which is very tiny. So if you have a space problem, then you should choose this type. And with the same horsepower, sometimes customer request a lot of airflow. So we make a dual and triple motors. So the airflow is very huge. So if you have some applications which require high flow, then you can let us know. Because Turbowin is supporting the highest airflow in the world. Okay, just this. We have also a wireless. Okay. Actually, just like some of our nice presentation from today. Now people start to use the Wi-Fi to connect. We can use Wi-Fi also to control. Because some factory, I don't know in Malaysia, but in Taiwan, there are so many old factories, which is very complicated to make a RJ45 cable. So they prefer to use Wi-Fi. So actually, we have also our Wi-Fi system, but we are also compatible with current setting. Even I have a few cases we even put SIM card. Yeah, because the Wi-Fi signal inside it's also bad. So in the end, we discover we need to use SIM card module. So it's 4G. Yeah. So there are different kind of communication. Waterproof itself, machine itself, it's actually IP54, okay? But you're coming the right question at the right time. This is outdoor model. Yeah, I don't know how about the law in Malaysia. In Taiwan, if I want to build up a house for blower, it takes time. I need to issue a lot of documents to government, a lot of issues. But if we put outdoor model directly there, it's very simple. So it's highly welcome in the market. We are selling this outdoor model. So it's actually dual cases. But for sure, if you drill some water from here and put it inside, that's no good. This is outdoor tank. So this you put outside without any problem. Under the rain, no problem. You can believe me, we have a lot of typhoon in Taiwan. Heavy rains all the time.
How about temperature? Because you have inverters.
Yeah, we have inverter. This is inverter room. Actually, as you can see, the cool air will come from here, go up, and this one we have a special hole, and this one will also, this heat will also go out together with our cooling fan. And actually, we don't have any problem for this cooling for the inverter. But the limitation is 40 centigrade. Technology-wise, we can do up to 45, 50 actually. I have some case in Taiwan, we are doing this because it's underground. It's I think B3. It's very hot. It's like 41, 42. So we need to do some special design. if you have this problem. But I still suggest, because of also for the safety for people, you should make the environment under 40. And because I worry a lot if my engineer go to this kind of site with very high temperature, I ask them they need to go with 3. Because they have to watch on each other. 41, 42 is crazy. I was there before, and I said to them, okay, it's better we take the project, try to make the environment under 40.
What temperature outside because
There is an independent cooling pipe. So this heat will go out by this independent pipe. So for sure, if you put this outside, you don't have any problem because this heat just go outside.
inside
If inside, I would suggest you need the pipe connected to the cooling pipe exist. You discharge to somewhere. Now you don't need additional fan. As I mentioned, this is a natural suckling. Natural suckling means once our main shaft start to be rotated, and also the cooling impeller is rotated at the same speed. So it's precisely they are calculated very, very well. So you don't have this problem like overheat. But you do need to connect your cooling pipes somewhere outside. And because in the building, most of the time they have like air pipe. Yeah, something for special reason. Yeah. So this is no problem at all.
even though that thing but the compressor itself the heat
Like this one, this is blower, right? If this is compressor, actually there is also one cooling pipe out. Yeah, but like I said, because we just need air cooling, so our cooling water just try to cool down the compressed air. Cooling water only for compressor. For blower, normally you don't need. Only when some special cases you need the cooling water for blower. Okay. So the look is like this, but this is a S type. S type means a separate.
compressor air cool also convert air cool not water cool
Compressor motor itself it's air cooled. Yeah, but you still need the cooling water because of the compressed air. It's high pressure. Yeah, if like a normal blower is only one set of a motor, and pressure is also very low, so actually you don't need. Only when the horsepower is up to, let's say, 1800 horsepower, 2100 horsepower, you may need cooling water. For blow, I mean the pressure under 1.2 bar. Yeah. If we are talking about compressor, we are talking about pressure at least 2 to 9 bar. Yeah, 2 bar we still don't need the cooling water. 4 bar we suggest to have cooling water. So as you can understand, from 4 to 9 bar we need cooling water. Yes. Yeah, for sure, the customer can choose some brand with the air cooling type. For this brand, our compressor, we don't support air cooling type. Actually, we can do, but energy-wise, it's actually not saving more. The efficiency actually goes down. So this one. But we don't need that much cooling water like a normal cooling water type because our cooling water doesn't need to cool down our motor. Our motor is still air cooled. Air for sure. If you compress to 9 bar, you need the cooling water. Air cool compressor is okay, it's good. But I mean, efficiency-wise, also the lifetime-wise, is actually low. Like in Taiwan, it's also very hot. It's quite hot in Taiwan, and actually, many customers, they in the beginning they say air cool is better. They don't need the cooling water. But in the end, they find out, they have a more frequent overheat problem. It's too hot, so they have more problem. And as to compressor, people don't like shutdown. They don't like overheat shutdown at all. So that's why in the end they think cooling water is more stable. Compressor is quite important because once compressor is shutting down, then the factory might have a big problem for their production. So people consider stability more than if it's air-cooled or water-cooled. In some cases, you need to separate the motor and the inverter room. So we also have this type. And for all our EX-proof type, we use separate type like this. So we put the motor in hazardous area and this one separate. Okay, and this is also one special model, dual power. Okay, this is triple power. Yeah. This one, when you need a lot of airflow, then you need to use this series. Means the same horsepower, but you have a bigger airflow. Okay, this is an eco model. We have one more eco model. And this one is very important. I want to spend more time together with you. We call this eco ABT system. This is we met this application in Taiwan. This solution we got innovative award last year, and these are patents. In the past, when you are doing powder or pellet, you even cement. Okay, if you are doing this, so your rotary start to roll, and when all this powder or pellet just dropped, the pressure become very high. So people use the root blower or compressor to do the conveying, but it's wasting a lot of energy because nobody is using inverter. They don't do up and down operation. They just 100% full power, but it's wasting a lot of energy. When people start to think about use air for bearing, all our competitors got a problem because air for bearing is more sensitive to the pressure. So most of our competitors they have a shutdown problem. Once this materials dropped, and the pressure immediately increased. So all the air for bearing blower shut down. So when our big customer came to us, they say, I don't believe air for bearing is workable for this solution. So we are engineers, so we want to change. And fortunately, we spent 1.5 years. So I met, because I started my career as a software engineer. So I make some program to limit this pressure and do an auto detection. So once the pressure is too low, so we will increase automatically. If the pressure is too high to go to search area, then we will release immediately. It's also in automation. So this means, I don't know in Malaysia, but in Taiwan, normally people are using walkie-talkie. They need 3 men as a team. And one guy control this rotary, one guy here, one guy is silo, they need to, please make it bigger, make the mount smaller. They're doing a lot of things like this. And now, with Eco ABT solution, you just need one touch. You just power up. So you don't even need to think about, okay, how's the control, how's the procedure, what should I do for this rotary or the silo, all these problems. You don't need to consider at all. So they reduce also labor cost, not only saving energy from electricity, but also reduce the effort. So this means when we have some professionals for our water conveying here, as you know, if you talk to the end user, I want to change your conveying system. People say, no way. You know why? Because their procedure of controlling here are way too complicated. They don't want to change. But if you talk to them, okay, I don't care what you do here. You just change the blower with this Eco ABT system. That's all. They don't need to change anything. So they would love to change. Because this is now the only one solution for powder and pellet transferring if you want to save the energy. This saving rate in Taiwan, we start from 20-something up to 52. So this will save a lot. And it's very easy because you just change the blower or compressor. That's it. So what we need to do is when we are doing a commissioning, our engineer will go to your site, set up some parameters. After that, you just do one touch, power up, then you can start using. This is very simple. So in Malaysia, I do believe you have a lot of applications because you have a lot of food, beverage, cement, you have so many conveying systems which you can change to this.
So means that the valve is fully open.
We don't care about the valve. If you want to start or you want to stop, you don't need to care because this one automatically they will adjust the air. And we have a pressure sensor located at our discharge pipe. So this means our blower or compressor will understand the current pressure here. So if it's too low, you need to make it higher, then they will automatically rise the loading by software. And the good thing is, according to your question, the good thing is our machine doesn't care if it's open or closed. It's okay. Whatever you want. You want to open, you want to close, you want to start to drop your materials, no problem.
How here is the cycle? Here is the buffer tank. This buffer tank, let's say, is full.
Yeah.
So,
When this buffering tank is full or some cycle is full, let's say, for sure you have some valve here. Right? Must be a lot of valve here. So the central controlling room, normally there's a software control. Okay, for example, this valve should close, the other valve should be open. Then they will transfer up to the other side or buffering tank. So during this operation, for sure, as you can imagine, the pressure also goes up and down. Sometimes pressure shock or something like this. But you don't need to care because if the pressure is too high, then we have a special valve here. They will open immediately to reduce the pressure. So once you start again, you need more power. Then they found out you need more pressure. So the valve will close automatically. Then you can start to change. So the good thing is, okay, like I said, if your system must be changed according to our blower, then nobody will buy it. Unless it's a brand new factory, brand new plant, people will use. But for the replacement, there's no chance if it's not an automatic system. So now you have an eco-ABT system. So for all of applications like this, you can change with the smallest effort. Okay. That's me. Okay. This is one big guy in Taiwan, so we got this award. And all of the compressors must go to ITRI. This is the biggest institute, as you may know. All need to go there. So we also, move our 200 horsepower one. So as you can see, our power consumption from 140 to 163. Our competitor runs 179 to 95, 195. It's much more. And there are three major, valve technology from Turbowin. So you can see this one, as I mentioned, with this special valve, VOV valve, then you don't need to go to the rectifier and come back. With this one, no need. And this is anti-surge. Like I said, sometimes the pressure goes up quickly. So you have this to release the air pressure. This is extra valve, which we just talked about the eco-ABT. This is extra valve, but it's automatic, controlled by software. Okay, so real case is like this. This is outdoor model with eco-ABT. And I would like to emphasize one point. This is the power calculation, the curve from our competitor. This is a Turbowin. So as you can see here, under 0.3 bar, they are not allowed to work. But this will happen frequently. For example, if your wastewater level under 3 meters, then this will happen. Okay, or some of the adjusted pool, then this will happen. But for Turbowin, this area, it's okay to operate. So this is very different. And people say, no, just very few cases you will run in this area. Actually, it's wrong. Okay, like water level changed, some initial operation, you will come only here. Also, one too many. One too many means you use one bigger blower to replace many small ones. So you will also have the same problem. You have to run sometimes here. Some biomedical treatment, also the feeding pressure, low feeding pressure, you will run here. So this is very special. We are using titanium shaft inside. As you know, titanium is very light. So with a lower RPM, then our shaft and impeller are running pretty well in the air. Okay. It's actually data from one of the biggest semicon industry. Sorry, I cannot say who they are. But as you can see, we actually replaced 100 horsepower root spool. You know, but the funny thing is, customer also buy one set from our competitor. But if they are running at the same pressure and airflow, as you can see, we just need 58 kilowatt. Our competitor needs 64.5. Root blower 127. It's a lot. Right? So even compared with airflow bearing competitors, we are 10% more saving. That's a lot. Yeah. So look at this. If we are talking about annual electricity cost, customers love us because they just need, you know, 58,000 US dollars. But if they are using our competitor, they need to use the 65. And if they are using an old root blower, look at this, 130,000. So this is very big difference. And as you can see, the RPM for the motor, under exactly the same situation, then our RPM runs under 20,000 RPM. Our competitor is going nearly 30. Okay, so the electricity they wasted, you know, went to this, and also you can see the discharge air temperature. We are lower. This is 7.3 degree lower. And the funny thing is, we are using 75 horsepower to replace 100 horsepower. This means most of the time, turbo blower will offer bigger airflow than root blower. So this happens frequently. You know, we use 75 horsepower to replace 100 horsepower. So even customers are saying, hey, airflow bearing turbo blower is more expensive than roots. But actually, they got their return on investment back in a short time. Okay. This is real data from you know, stuff from app. Then you know who they are. Now this is second biggest semicon industry in Taiwan. So you can see. Now they are all using Turbowin. This is the other one. Okay. The other one we also compare with our competitor. This is not root spool. This is our competitor. Also airflow bearing, but you can see under the same situation, then we have 14% more. So we talk to customers, if you want to change to airflow bearing technology, you still need to choose the right brand. Okay, this is Evo. And people are asking, okay, this is new to me. I don't know this is stable or not. So when your customer are asking these questions, then you can tell them we are doing also for power plant. For all the guys from power plant, they care about stability more than energy saving first. Their priority is stability. Stable operation is more important. So as you can see, we are doing a CFBC application with a power plant. In this case, it's nearly 50% of energy saving. In Taiwan, we have so many electronics companies, so they are using so many small blowers. So we use one big one to change. We use 125 horsepower one to change many small ones. So you can see the saving rate is 66%. This is an AVT system. You saw the picture 10 minutes ago. And the saving rate is between 28 to 32%. And they reduced 3 engineers to work on this application. Okay, this is the other case, 56%. One more. And this one is very fun. This one is Formosa. And they have a big problem about the switch, because once they start, sometimes the switch becomes very solid and hot. So the pressure became very big. So most of the time they have a problem with it. Even their root screw, they need to close the valve a little bit smaller to make bigger pressure, to push up this solid suspension. But we made one solution for them. We use our pressure sensor to detect the pressure. So if we found out the pressure is bigger, so we control the software automatically. We make the pressure higher. So after the pressure become normal, because all the very hot switch just gone, so they will come back to the normal operation. 100% without human control. This is automatically controlled by software. Okay, this is actually a very nice case. We use 15 units to replace 18 units, so the saving rates so big. This is annual saving. Okay. Let's look at this photo. This is 500 horsepower compressor. Even 500 horsepower, as you can see here, there is no absorber, nothing. We just directly put on the ground on the concrete base. And this is my indicator, which I mentioned. So it's green, so it's very healthy in operation. If you look at the KPI, means you divide your power consumption by CMM, by your cubic meter air. This is 6.14. There are two sets of incandescent heat. Actually, these are much higher because, as you can see, only with full load, we have 14% of saving. And this is 24 hours running with 500 horsepower one. So as you can imagine how much they save. Okay, this is also one point which you have to know. With a normal screw compressor, after receiving tank, then you need maybe after cooler, also one more cooler. One more dryer here. But because, as I mentioned, our discharging air temperature is low, so actually you can remove this one. So you just need a very simple design. So not only saving the electricity by compressor itself, then you can also save the power, maintenance, purchasing cost for all these accessories. So the setting and layout become very easy. Customer will save more, okay, not only compressor itself. So this is quite important. And the other thing is, for example, when customers are using many sets of compressor at the same time, sometimes they have problem because they use the two, for example, two full load and with one of the adjustable one. But the problem is, as time goes by, then they have some problem. The pressure will be a little bit different. So sometimes if one set goes up, another set goes down too much. The differential pressure is too much, and one of these will be shutting down. So this problem happens so often in Taiwan, and sometimes customers are thinking, oh, we make a software to control, but who knows the pressure will change, when they will change. They don't know. So they still have the same problem. But if you change to Turbowin compressor, and we set every set, up and down at the same time. So we don't do 2 for low, 1 to adjust. No, we do 3 at the same time. And because it's controlled by pressure, so these 3 will not, make the other set shut down. So this is very important. If the factory is big, for sure they have so many sets, then you will always this problem. Especially if they are all brand new, maybe the problem is less. But it's when all these sets are getting old, because of friction problem, losing problem, you have a lot of things to consider. Then you will start to meet this kind of issues, and it's very hard to solve. Like I said, nobody knows when this set pressure go up, this set goes down. Nobody knows. But with Turbowin, and you don't have this headache. Okay, just some customer reference in Taiwan. I believe you know some of them. And also, this is one solution I met. We call it eco-friendly closed circuit. Yeah. Because some customers are saying with this hot water, how they have a problem to do the cooling. So we make the like closed circuit, and we have this solution also from China. Okay. Just quickly this. Okay. With one single motor, then we can up to 2 bar, and plus 2 cooling water cooler, then we can run up to 4 bar. So if you need a 7 to 9 bar, then you need a dual motor with 4 impellers plus 4 coolers. And we put we call smart AI. So this machine will try to audit his healthy situation by himself. Okay. According to the IP issue, all our model is IP54 because if you feel water inside, you still have a problem. But like this, we call WH-G model. This is actually a gas compressor. So I do believe you have some application like LNG, POG. If you want to transfer this, then you have solution from air-flow barrier. We are the only one supplier, so you don't need to spend your time to look for the competitors, which is cheaper. This is the only one solution for air-flow bearing, gas compressor. So this one, you don't need to worry about the water. If you spray the water like this, it's still there. You'll be working well. This is very special. Okay, through this photo, you also saw in the video. So this is first impeller, second, the third one, and the fourth one. So there are 3 intercooler in between, plus 1 intercooler. So it's quite simple, very compact. Okay.
What's the requirement of the
Water quality, yeah, for sure. We don't like a lot of dirty things, but for normal, let's say cooling tower water is okay. But you need to watch out, because it's very warm in Malaysia. So for sure, bacteria problem, a lot of problem, then you will have let's say, scale. If you have this problem, you still need to be careful about this.
Cooling motor is not crucial.
Yeah, so this is why some customer requesting our closed circuit. Then they can keep the water clean. This is why I show you this one. Not all customers are using this, but if you are using normal cooling tower, for sure you have the same problem, as you know. But this is a closed one, so this one we can keep the water inside clean. For sure you still need to do something, let's say every 1 or 2 years, but this is closed life. I believe in Malaysia some of your application need this. And the cost is not so big difference. So I think it's acceptable. Okay. This is dual motor system. I try to speed up a little bit. There's a lot of information. Okay. This is very important. Let's say if this point is full load, okay? When you go to unload point, the power consumption at this point is under 10% of our full load. There is no other compressor can make the same low power consumption. If you are using a screw type plus inverter, minimum you can do maybe 20 or 30. Spec wise, people say 20, but nobody will do. People do at most 30%, but you still need 30% of your power consumption. But with the turbo compressor, you just need less than 10%. And also, if you are operating a screw compressor, let's say from unload point to full load, it takes about 20 seconds, 40 seconds, sometimes 2 minutes. It depends on how old they are. But from this point to full load, normally we just need 5 to 10 seconds. It's shorter. So this means if you want to operate compressor frequently like this, back and forth, then it's still okay. So it's very special. And the setting is also easy. We just set upper, also the bottom pressure limit, which you want. And if the pressure is lower than this button, so the compressor will go loading automatically. If air tank pressure is over your upper limit, so they will firstly go to middle point to take a rest. Then you can set here, go back to unknown point by the time duration you set. Okay? So this point, we save like 5 to 20% compared with the screw compressor. This point, we are less than 50% of screw compressor. This point, we are just need 10% of our rated power. So a lot of saving from here. Okay, so from here, I try to show you more applications which you might be more professional than me. Okay, for oil and gas, for sure, for petrol refining, you need a lot. Let's say pipeline transportation, yeah, for sure, for oil and gas, you need. Now, because only Turbowin suppose gas turbo blower and compressor, that's why we support this solution. Okay, like gas rejection. This is petrochemical. Wow, this is a lot of applications. This is why the biggest one in Taiwan is Formosa Group, and Formosa now want to have a joint venture with us because most of their models are supported from Turbowin. Vapor recovery, you still need air. Gas lift for sure. CDA is very popular everywhere. I think in Canada, you have a lot of electronics factories. CDA is basic for them. All these kind of electronics, all these factories, you need the CDA a lot. Okay, patterning, yeah. Because for this kind of wafer, you need very clean air, as you know, and also they don't like oil inside. That's why turbo blower and turbo compressor are very highly welcome. For semicon industry, cooling the chip, instrumental pneumatic tools for sure, purging, soldering, the PCB. Actually, I don't know if you have a many PCB factory here, but for single PCB factory, there are so many applications they need air because they cannot use water to clean their product for sure. So they need to use a lot of air to clean, like air knife also. So the usage is so big. Wastewater treatment, yeah, which we don't need to discuss. Everybody knows. EV battery. There's one special secret in this kind of industry. If you compress air, your CDA contained with some oil, actually your production rate will be affected a lot. Some people don't know that. They don't know why our production, the quality label cannot be raised 0.2, 0.5%. Why they are reduced? Because their air content with a lot of oil particle. So when they are doing the manufacturing of EV factory, actually they prefer all the air without any oil. So in Korea we have one dealer, who is very funny guy. His customer only EV battery. He has no other customer, no wastewater treatment, nothing. But only for the production process for EV battery. He is now, I think, our number 5 dealers in Korea. And the volume is so big, unbelievable. So because for many procedures they need a lot of air. Okay. It's a secret. Not everybody knows the secret. Okay, electrophyllene for sure. As you see, sealing. Remove the component. Coating process also. So many. I would say maybe 70 to 80% of their production procedure need a lot of air. even the wastewater. They don't concentrate on this much. Food and beverage, for sure. Okay. Yeah, I do believe you have a lot of food and beverage in Malaysia, so maybe you can take a look at this. Cleaning, for sure. Yeah, and don't forget, our discharging temperature is low. You know, if you are drying your fruits with very high temperature, then you will have a problem because it's cooked, right? So very simple. And if the compressor, discharge air without oil, for sure you are also saving the oil filter. You are saving the filter a lot. Feeding product, for sure you need air. Yeah, prepare ingredients. Moving and mixing, cooling and freezing. Packaging, for sure. And not only for food and beverage, for plastic, some blowing bottle company, they are using a lot of it. Okay, this is one of also major application. Yeah, this is also capsule. This might be a little smaller. The process, instrument there for sure. Packaging. Yeah, for pharmaceutical, and also some biomedical things. They will like it because there's no oil. Drying process for sure. Wastewater. For automotive industry, yeah, like painting for all these cars, coating, you need a lot of air. Plasma cutting, you need air. Welding, actually you need air. And all of this, they are using a lot of pneumatic robot, not only electrical one. Yeah, like I said, compressor operated robot for sure. Product finish. If you want to do finishing, you want to clean the product, finish the product, also you need a lot of air. Air tools, tires, breathing air. Not only automotive industry actually, like ballast. Okay, in Singapore must be some people are doing this. And we have class certification from ABS from US. We are the only one turbo blower manufacturer with class certification. And it's ABS. As you know, ABS is the highest one in the world. So you are able to ship our product, you are able to sell our product for all these vessels, for this container ship. Engine starting, you need air, breathing air system. Actually for semicon industry, when you are doing some, how do you call it, like a clean room, everybody needs to expand. You also need a lot of air. Okay. Agree? Since we got our ABS certification, then these are more and more. Service instrument. Okay, like a BOG tinker. These are real case. We have real case on BOG ship now. It's not just only an idea. And maybe you know this. This is funny things. ALS is air lubrication system. How can let's say container ship, all these ships can save their oil, save their energy? They start to use compressor. They blow off all these bubbles. So all these ships, they are sailing on bubbles. Unbelievable. Guess how much energy saving if they are sailing on bubbles? From 6 to 37%. Depends on the shape of the ship for sure. Depends on how old their engine are. I mean, if they should, this is pretty new technology, and we are supplier for 3 of top 5 ALS systems in the world now. But there are still so many. So this is a good idea. If you know somebody, some big guy from Marine, then you can also talk to them. This is very new system. From 7 to, let's say from 6 to 37% of saving, that's a lot. That's really a lot. Because one container ship, let's say 10,000 tube container, because I know they need to spend like $3 to $5 million only for those energy every year. So if they are saving 20%, think about how much they are saving. Yeah, aquaculture. This is nice because our discharging air temperature is lower, so this will not affect it to the environment too much. If it's too hot, there's a problem. Mining, for sure. Biogas. Yeah, power generation. Yeah, we have a case there. Yeah, pneumatic cabin. Remember, our eco-ABT system will help you a lot. So there are so many. You can see there are so many different kind of applications. From paper, we have customer from paper company in Taiwan. Oh, this is one I just say, right? The bottle board. That's a lot. They need a lot of air. It's one of our major industry in Taiwan. Metal, for sure. For metal industry, actually, there are so many applications. For example, furnace are burning, let's say natural gas with a very high temperature, and they need to supply more oxygen. So they are still using blower or compressor. Treatment. Fuel cell more control. Okay. So for maintenance, we will support you annual maintenance form, so which help you to explain to customers what we will do for the annual overhaul and maintenance. But actually, the maintenance cost, I would say, it's lower than original one, maybe just 30% of your original maintenance cost. So when you are doing ESCO, if your plane is doing the ESCO, this is very, highly welcome. Why? Because the maintenance cost is low. And you don't need to shut down the machine every, let's say, 2,000 or 4,000 hours. And we have also training program. Once you start to use this, you don't need to worry because we did a lot of training for our customers, for our, let's say, contractor or engineering companies. We are happy. We have our service team. In Taiwan, actually, we build up our service team first, then we start to sell. Look, this is a check-in form for the duration of some maintenance. And all our compressor, we pass PTC 13. Okay, this is a new one. And a lot of ABS is what I just said for marine. Okay, this is the highest standard. Okay, now I show you some more photos about global reference. Okay, this is a wastewater treatment in Canada, 100 horsepower. Okay, Russia. Now we are not allowed to go there. But fortunately, there's no problem. So, you can see the maintenance and repairing request is quite low. Turkey, this is Istanbul. Japan. I'm sorry, Japan don't allow us to show their factory photo. Okay, this is Malaysia. And AUS is IWK. Vietnam. USA. And this customer is nice because they want to be our distributor. So they allow us to take a look. This is Thailand. New Delhi from India. Korea for sure, so many in Korea. Bangladesh. This is important. You know why? Because they have a power problem every day. you know, their power shut down like 6 to 10 times every day. So in the beginning, our distributor said, maybe this is very risky to install a turbo blower because their power is very unstable. But in the end, these sets are still running well. For sure, they are shutting down. They are forced by shutdown problems every day. Yeah, Guatemala. It's also pretty hard. Yeah, Costco. This customer is one of the biggest player for steel industry. Mexico, as I mentioned, this customer used to use our competitors' blower, but they did have a lot of problem from the overheat shutdown issue. So now they changed all the set to Turbowin. They are happy. Yeah, at least I see their owner smile last month. And then, well, there are a lot of reference. Okay, I just want to show you. China. Okay. Then compressor. All these cases before are blower, but this is compressor. Okay. Pneumatice. This is one of the famous pharmaceutical company. Indonesia. This size is 300 horsepower. Korea, France, and the one you saw is in France. Okay, so Korea, Netherlands, UK. This is one of our customers for fuel cell. Okay, so after here, are you tired? Take a break. Yeah. I think it's better we take a break, okay? Somebody looks like you need some cigarette. Okay, let's take a short break, okay? Okay, gentlemen, let's take a 10 minutes break, then come back, and we will finish within 30 minutes, okay?
setahun.
Kau buat itu maksud tu kita nak orang setahun. Kau buat projek lah, projek tu audit lah. Saya fikir nak buat dia cuma bagian orang yang pasang rumah itu tidak sampai boleh gunakan untuk implementkan jika nak bayar dengan orang saya boleh buat dia bayar di mana dan saya jadi nanti kita bayar apa kosong fee lah kan bayar buat projek dia sahaja kita lagi
Maksudnya kalau tak boleh rumah ni boleh lah.
Kalau katakan soal tak ni sudah dah katakan memang dia nak ahli-ahli kan tapi kita akan bagi akses saya ni bukan
Jadi dia memang dia boleh kat lain. Dia power quality juga.
ada power itu saya boleh makan power itu
Power quality mana?
tahu dia punya apa nama power itu
Power quality ada lebih
apa lagi apa lagi so saya tak pasti saya tak ada sampai itu bukan teknikal sangat lebih ke energi saya sampai sampai power itu
power logging ni lah.
power logging
Dia tak sampai power quality.
ada tambah betul dia tak sampai power
PhD pun tak ada dah.
sampai dia maksimum sekarang power itu
Tapi AM semua
itu ada
basic
basic
ada lah kan. Jadi macam boleh
dekat buat energy management
Okay, terima kasih.